friends, it's Alex with bfVintage. We are here at a Goodwill in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've got my bestie boo here with me to help me look for some treasures. And yeah, we're gonna see if we can find anything for my Etsy shop, BF Treasures Co. So let's go. Here we go.
Goodwill. Yeah.
We shall find all the treasures. We shall. Okay, so we walked in and the first thing I noticed was this fish. It did look modern, but I really liked the glaze on it, so I had to just pick it up and see if it was worth investigating further, but decided to pass. And then I saw some figurines, and of course I was drawn to the unicorn because, as you know, my daughter is obsessed. And even though this one was not vintage, I still liked it. I knew she would like it, and it looked like it was in good condition. I couldn't see any chips or anything, and so for that reason it went in my cart just to make her smile. So money well spent there, of course. Then I found this hobbyist piece. It did have markings to indicate that it was made in the 70s. I really liked the color, but for $6.50 I felt like it was a little bit high, so I did pass on her even though she's darling. Next, I moved on to some plates. I was really drawn to this plate, but it didn't have any markings on the back. I believe it's in Morocco on the front, but without any more markings, I wasn't really interested. This plate was really ornate. I loved all the detail. I liked the shine to it. And so I obviously had to check for the markings on the back. Now, it was kind of interesting because it did say Caesar's Palace, but it also said hand painted in Japan. So I was very confused. It was for sale for $12.50. Obviously, Caesar's Palace is a casino in Las Vegas. So for that reason, I definitely decided to pass. Next, I started looking at some of the candles, and then I found this vase and I got really excited because it was stunning. I mean, look at the detail on that. So I was checking for chips, really excited because I loved the dark blue color, and it did say Japan on the bottom, so I was getting really excited because it was beautiful, in good condition. And then it said it was almost $40, guys, and I was like, are you serious right now? Break my little heart here. Like, oh, that was frustrating. So I moved on, found these salt and pepper shakers by Lourdes. Wasn't familiar with that. Then I found these. These definitely looked vintage, and they said Noritake, Ireland, which I've seen some Noritake, but I didn't know that they made that also in Ireland. So that piqued my interest. They were only $4.50, and so I was just looking for damage. I was a little bit concerned because oftentimes when they put the tape on like this and it's on the hand painted part of the piece, sometimes it can pull the paint off. And so that's always disappointing. So I was kind of trying to check how much that might happen in this case. And I was surprised to see that, oh, you know what? It might not peel off that badly. So I was just doing another once over, and then I saw that chip right there in the front. Do you see it in the bottom? So I had to move on. Next, I found this plate, and even though it was very simple, I liked the simplicity of it, and it had age for sure. And it actually had this maker's mark on the back that said Paden City Pottery, made in the USA. And I'm actually not familiar with that maker, but given it was just one plate for $3.50, I decided it wasn't worth taking a risk for. So I moved on, and the next thing that I saw was this really bright gold vase, and it also had a Japan sticker on the bottom. It probably isn't quite as old. Maybe, if I had to guess, maybe like in the 80s or maybe 90s. I don't know. Anyways, I really liked the decoration there. It looked like peacocks and some plants, and I thought it was really pretty. I was trying to investigate the damage just to see you know, how bad is it? And I didn't see any at first. So I was like, awesome, let's do this. But then I had my eagle eye come take a look. Now, mind you, this was only going to be $450, but she spotted this right here. Now, that's not something that can be repaired. That's like a major scratch. And thank you, Miss Lisa, Eagle Eye. You saved the day. You saved me from a $4.50 mistake. And that might not sound like a lot, but it is when you're in my business. And then I found this guy. He was so cool. I was convinced that maybe an artist had made him. And the only reason that I passed was because he really seemed like he wanted to fall over. He was only $350. But you know, he just really wasn't wanting to stay stood up. He didn't want to stand up straight. And so for that reason, I passed. And then I saw this and I was trying to figure out, like, what is this? And why is the top of the wings taped on? How bizarre. I loved the bird. You know, I've seen some other baskets that have like this similar look on the eyes and the beak, like turkeys and other things. And then look, guys, it's a box. It opens right up. It's in really, really good condition. Just needs a little bit of cleaning and maybe some wood oil. But I thought that was really cool because you could have that somewhere, you know, have it as decor, and you could also have it functional, you know, store something inside of it. So I was just checking to make sure that it was in good shape, and it just looks like it needs a little bit of cleaning on the front. The face is in really good condition. I didn't see any chips on the face. And I believe it was about $9.50. And even though that's a little bit high, I felt like for how large this piece is and, you know, how unique it is, I was willing to take a chance. And I'll have to do some research later and see, you know, if that pays off or not. So then I went to the clear glass and I found this. I liked that it had some yellow at the top and some clear at the bottom, but I was afraid that it was still modern. And for, I believe it was $250. I don't know. I just didn't really want to take the chance there. Even though it was really nice, it had some etchings on it as well. But I don't know, that I just wasn't convinced it was worth taking a chance on. So I kept looking around, got excited when I saw this paperweight, but it was $17.50, guys. And I was like, wow, that's quite expensive there for a paperweight. And it didn't have a clear bottom. The ones that have a clear bottom tend to sell for more. So I did move on from that. I did spot this carnival glass bowl. This one has definitely had some wear on it because you could almost not even tell that it has that iridescence to it. I actually literally have another one of these that I'm going to be listing soon in my shop, but the color on it is much better. There's not as much wear, so you can still see the orange, you know, iridescence. And so for that reason, I put this one back. It was $4.50, and given the wear, I didn't want to take a chance. So I moved on. And then I found this plate. At first I was trying to figure out if those were burn marks all, and then I realized it was in a pattern on the edges there. And I really liked the hand-painted flowers. There was something different about the colors that were used. So I checked out the back, and it did actually say Bavaria on the back. So it is from Germany. You know, and it did have something to hang. So like a wall plate type of thing. But for $4.50, I just wasn't convinced that it was appealing enough, interesting enough to pick up. I guess I was feeling extra picky this day that we went. So even though she's pretty, she just wasn't quite calling to me. I got excited when I saw this pottery piece. Looked like some Mexican pottery, but has that chip on the ear, which was such a bummer. It does say Hecho en Mexico, which means made in Mexico. But yeah, man, that ear, that just kills me. It would have been really a cool piece to have in the shop. Next, I saw these metal ducks. This one was for $4.50. I thought that was a pretty good price. It's actually quite heavy, and it's a box, so it does open. I was really interested in the larger one, but that one was $9.50. And guys, it was crazy heavy. Like, I would be concerned about the shipping costs on that. I'm not sure anyone would want to pay that, you know, for that particular piece. And I was bummed because I really did want to sell both together because I feel like that's kind of a cool thing to have, like a tiny box and a big box. And they're so decorative. Again, they can just be put somewhere. No one would even know that it's a box. I really like boxes. So I was drawn. But in the end, I just decided that I was going to just pick up the little one for $4.50 because I felt like as a reseller, there was maybe some room for profits there, but not so much on the other duck that was larger. So ended up looking at some of the pottery and found this guy. I thought it was really cool. It was metal, but I don't know. I just couldn't quite place it. I felt like it was probably more modern, and I really liked the shape, but there was just something about it that made me feel like it might not be something people would be interested in. So then I moved on to these candle holders. Now they do say Cal Potter made in Laguna on the bottom here. And it was $6.50 for just one. They did have two. So, you know, that's going to be about $13 for both. And so I was interested at first because I felt like they were done really well. I liked the glazing on them. I liked the painting, the hand painting, but there was some chips. And given there were chips on both of them, I felt like, $13 was way too much to take a chance on that. Then I saw this guy and thought he was so interesting. I was trying to figure out if it was an olive or what. And then is it a teapot, a pitcher, just a decorative piece? I have no idea. If you know, please leave a comment because I never seen anything like that. So I had to pick it up, but not enough to take it home. And then I see these out sometimes, and they always draw me in because I love the granite. I love the brass, and they give me the mid-century vibes. This one was $12.50. But you know what? Honestly, guys, these don't really sell for that much, and I think there's an oversaturation. So I just pass when I see them unless they're incredibly ornate. Then I found over in the Christmas section some Foldsgraph, and I had to investigate because there was an entire set here. The only thing is that each glass was $2.50. So in the end, it actually ended up being not worth it in terms of resale. Let's see, how many were there? I think there were 6. They were in really good condition. There were like no chips or anything, but I did run comps, and I felt like like I said, the room for profit was not very high for me. So I decided to just leave them there and actually put them all together so that if someone was looking for a glass set like that, they would be able to find them very easily. Next, I found this recipe box. I really liked it. It's in this like army green color, but man, you see the wear on the bottom, guys. Now, it was made by J. Chen & Co., and it says USA below that, but if it didn't have that wear on the bottom, I would have taken it, but it was just too beat up. But these recipe boxes tend to be, I think, a little more popular because you can use them for more than just a recipe box. So I'm a fan, but this one was just a little too beat up for me. Then I saw these masks, and I was drawn to it because it was just kind of unusual, and this one was a little bit scary, but I was still into it, It was $4.50, but then I saw this giant crack at the top. So definitely don't want something that's damaged like that. Next, I found this soapstone coaster set, and I was really considering it, but it was very heavy. It did look really worn out, especially on the bottom, and it was $6.50. I just wasn't really sure what the resale on that would be, so I did pass. And this is what we got today, just 3 items, but I like them all. All right, friends, so my other camera died while we were in there.
We had too much fun.
Yeah. So, anyways, we did good. I found, I think it was 3 items, and spent I think it was $18.47. So I really liked the basket bird, that box thing. Like, it was in really good condition considering how big that piece was and the age of it. So
it's really intriguing. It's
cute. So anyways, thanks for hanging out. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and give us a like, and if you want to see more videos, then please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, friends, bye.